And it's just like, get over it. Get over it. She didn't want a picture with your daughter. She didn't want to see your snotty teenage kid. And she's allowed to do that, okay? Hello, happy Monday. Right, let's talk about Chappell Roan. So there's this story out right now and it's getting bigger and bigger. Apparently she sent her security guard over and made a little girl cry. Now the backstory is, I'm not going to get into the details because you've probably already seen it, but Jude Law has got a daughter with his ex and his ex is now with a footballer, and her and her husband and Jude Law's daughter, the footballer's stepdaughter, whatever, were staying at the same hotel as Chappell Roan in Brazil because Chappell Roan was doing a show in Brazil. So they were having breakfast. Chappell Roan was having breakfast over there. The little girl, she's obviously a big fan. And apparently she just walked over and was just kind of looking at her and tried to smile at her. And Chappell Roan didn't seem impressed. And apparently a few minutes later, the security guard come over and chastised the family and made the little girl cry. Okay, so look, I've got a few different feelings about this. Winston, can you go away? I love you, but go away. I've got a few different feelings about this. So firstly, just because her dad is Jude Law, and she comes from a rich family and her dad's a famous actor, that doesn't make her any more special than any other little girl who may have wanted to meet Chappell Roan and didn't get to meet her. That's the thing, there's this entitlement that comes with these rich kids, and it's like, well, hang on, no, all the other celebrities I could meet because of my rich and famous parents, why can't I meet this one? I'm going to cry about it. You need to tell your child to stop crying, okay? It's ridiculous. So Chappell Roan, she made a video about it, basically giving her side of the story, saying that security guard don't work for me, I don't know anything about it, whatever. And then the little girl's mum is now making a video, like, for fuck's sake, get over it. Do you know what I mean? Like, it's not a big deal. Winston, get down. So it all started because the little girl's stepdad, a footballer, Gorgino, whatever his name is, posted about it on the internet, Giorgino Frello, and then Chappell Roan then said, look, I don't know about the security guard, my side of the story is, I don't know. And then now the kid's mum comes out, and it's just like, get over it. Get over it. She didn't want a picture with your daughter. She didn't want to see your snotty teenage kid, and she's allowed to do that, okay? It's just because she's a famous singer, it doesn't mean she needs to be nice to everyone. And we're going to get to that because this isn't a one-off situation. But the main story here is it says Chappell Roan is now banned from Brazilian concert after her security was accused of leaving Jude Law's tween daughter in tears. They actually banned her. Chappell Roan has been banned from performing at Todo Mundo Non Rio in the wake of the allegations he sent her security to threaten Jude Law's 11-year-old daughter after the child walked by the superstar. The 28-year-old singer was in Sao Paulo over the weekend to perform at Lollapalooza, while their Law's daughter, Ida, recognised the pop star at a hotel and subsequently walked past her breakfast table to get a closer look. She's probably fucking tired or hungover and just trying to enjoy her breakfast, and she's got some kid walking past her like from the fucking film Smile. Go away, I get it, I'd be annoyed too. Anyway, it's kind of getting out of hand now, and I feel like people are dragging it on, but the reality is, Chappell Roan, she don't like to be bothered, okay? So there's I'll show you a couple of clips. I mean, here's her on the red carpet at the VMAs a year or two ago. Look at this shit. She seems kind of angry. Like, honestly, I don't get it. And he obviously wasn't telling her to shut the fuck up because she wasn't speaking. She was getting her dress fixed by someone else. He was obviously telling someone else to shut the fuck up. And then she feels like she needed to pipe up and shout at him and tell him to shut the fuck up. The reality is she was pissed off. She's in a bad mood. And she was taking out the photographer. And the next clip, this one is very recent. This was at Paris Fashion Week. Now watch this.
I've asked these people several times to get away from me.
Step to the side. Step to the side.
This person I've asked several times to go away, and they will not. They're hiding their face because they're ashamed. Because I've asked them. These are all the people that are
Can you sign
completely disregarding all of my boundaries. So this is, then go away.
She's like, these fans are completely disregarding all of my boundaries. Like, bitch, firstly, you're in a public area Secondly, you're at a Paris Fashion Week show, okay? Photographers aren't really there for the models. They're there for the big, famous singers, actors, whoever else is coming to the show, okay? You're in Paris for Paris Fashion Week. If you didn't want the fame and you didn't want to be photographed or hassled or bothered, you wouldn't go to these big celebrity-filled fashion events. You'd stick to making your music and then staying at home. Unless you're out to perform your music. I don't get it. You can't have one and not the other. The whole point of being famous and being a celebrity and wanting to be well known around the world and be a creative artist and go to red carpet events and fashion shows, you're going to be fucking photographed, okay? There's fans and little twats like him that are going to want to take pictures with you. I think it's a generational thing. Again, it's good and bad. I can't sit here and say it's terrible that she has boundaries. I think every human should have boundaries, but I also feel like you need to take into consideration that the path that she's chosen. You've chosen this path to be a singer, to be not just a singer. There are other singers out there that are actually very reclusive. There's one called Enya. There's Kate Bush, who make their music, make their videos, the odd tour or performance. Other than that, they're at home. They're hermits, okay? If you care so much about the fashion show and the fashions, you can watch the fashion show on fucking YouTube, okay? So clearly you want to be there to be photographed. It's like, she wants to have her cake and eat it. And I also feel like she's way too sensitive for this shit. And she's also delusional because, yeah, things are different. But if you look back in the early 2000s and stuff, like back in the, you know, Britney Spears days and stuff, do you think photographers gave a shit about your feelings? Or even fans? Do you think they care about your feelings? But we are in a new era where maybe her pushing back against everyone is going to pay off for her and she's going to be able to find her peace and find her balance. But I don't see it happening anytime soon. And she's starting to just come across like a fucking spoilt brat and it's getting annoying. Hopefully her new music's good. She's got some good tracks. I will be listening, but I feel like these stories are just going to get bigger and bigger. I do think it's a fucking abomination that they cancelled her performance. She's still done Lollapalooza in Brazil, but I think it was a slightly smaller gig she was supposed to do. And they cancelled it because she upset a rich kid. It's fucking ridiculous, isn't it? It's becoming a joke. But look, hopefully she learns to find the right balance that works for her, because right now she just comes across like angry, entitled and bratty, and it's like turning a lot of people off because the story's now spiraling and more people are speaking about it. And I mean, I do think the kid's mum, Jude Law's ex-wife, is being extra petty and bitter. I think she posted a picture of her daughter with Lewis Capaldi and was like, oh, he's so sweet, he's so kind, he's so nice. Look, Lewis Capaldi's nice, he took a picture with my daughter. Fuck off. People are annoying. So look, I'm actually in the middle. Like I'm partly team Chappell because it's like, fuck you and your kid. And then I'm partly team don't go to these events and these glitzy hotels and these big celebrity-filled spaces if you don't want to be photographed by photographers or fans, Chappell, seriously, because you're making yourself look like a fucking idiot. If you're going to dress like a clown, do your clown makeup and your clown hair, people are going to look, people are going to take photographs. Like, am I in the dream world? I don't get it. I don't know what she wants. Honestly, don't. But we're in this new generation of boundaries, okay? I need my boundaries right now. You ain't getting no boundaries when you're a big celebrity and your music's doing well and you're going to these big events. You ain't getting no boundaries, bitch. Get over it. Anyway, yeah, the story's ridiculous, and hopefully it can just get put to bed now, because I'm sick of seeing articles about this bullshit, and I don't feel bad for Jude Law's kid, to be honest. I'm sure she has a very great, very privileged life, okay? And it's probably a good lesson for her too. Not every celebrity is going to be like, hi, how are you? Let's take a photo. Nah. And times have changed as well. Like I said, back in the early 2000s, these singers, they had to be perfect and poised and smiling and take every single photo and sign single thing. And now we're in an era where people can tell you to fuck off. And Chappell Roan is very much using that to her advantage